Hello everyone, Ashley here with Tolton Art. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about what to do about mentorships, how to find them, and kind of how to teach yourself as an artist. Okay, let's start this off with some of the main ideas, because I think you have the artists that go to art school, you have the artists that are self-taught. I did make a video on should you go to art school or not. I will link that right here. If you have not watched that, it is pretty informative. This is coming from the perspective of someone that didn't go to art school and then chose to go back to art school later in life. To kind of bullet point that video, when it comes to art school or being self-taught, we live in a world where education is so readily available between online and DVDs and YouTube. So many things are at our fingertips in order to learn that I don't think art school is as important as it used to be. On top of the fact that we could get into kind of the politics of art schools, they aren't without their own controversy. Ultimately, if you want to go to art school, there's nothing wrong with it. You get out of it what you put in. And that's just kind of across the board. No matter what avenue you pick, you're going to get out what you put in. If you're not really applying yourself, no matter what path we talk about right now, you're going to get partial results. If you are fully diving in, engaging, pushing yourself, being the A+ student, going above and beyond, no matter which avenue you pick, you're going to get to where you want to go. Art school, political, can be a little closed-minded. I have heard from people that have gone to art school that a big issue with it is that they didn't even feel like they really taught them how to make art on a technical level. It was like, how do you conceptualize and create the most shock value sort of artwork? There was kind of more of a modern take of like, how do you create the next banana duct tape to a wall? Now, that's not to talk down on them, because there are some that I think you could probably mix and match classes. There's some that probably have really good professors that you could learn a lot from. If you really want to, and that's like how you envision your college experience, just go for it. We're not really going to focus on that avenue because I do have that video on art school. But it's from my understanding between other artists I've talked to and how I've experimented with different routes myself. If you're going to go to any sort of art school and you're interested in actually painting and drawing, an atelier is probably the way to go. They're highly technical, highly skill-based driven. They are masters. You put in the work and the hours and the years in order to develop incredible draftsmanship and understanding anatomy and your materials. It is so masterful. There is a reason that is what the old masters did and why we envy them. And it's just because there's this practice that is so dedicated to their craft that if you're interested in becoming kind of a realistic artist, I would recommend that probably over an art school. Again, it does depend. There's always an if, and but, you know? So I don't want to make anyone mad, and I don't want to make anyone feel bad if they didn't pick one route over another. You can still maximize art school, and like if you're an abstract artist, an atelier probably isn't the route you want to go. It doesn't match. So kind of take this advice, but make it your own. It has to fit your own thoughts and life and goals. The next one we're talking on is the self-taught artist, and specifically, how do you find mentors, mentorships, and what do you do to kind of teach yourself and give yourself a curriculum, because it's really hard and really daunting. And ultimately, if you're a self-taught artist, you don't know what you don't know. Hear that again. Like, you don't know what you don't know, so you don't even know to learn these things because you don't even know about them, right? I know, that was a little meta, but it makes sense the more you think about it. Some tools you can use. 1, books. I did create a video on my favorite art books that I've collected both early on in my career and most recently that I have found incredibly helpful and have taught me so much. I'll link that right here. So if you're interested in kind of going the book route, definitely check that out. The other avenue could also be an online school. So New York Academy of Art, they have professors that teach just a single class in a semester that you can take. Or an online atelier like Watts Atelier, where you pay a monthly fee and you go through this process on your own. And it's not the same as being in person, but if it's your best option, it's your best option, and you can definitely maximize that. So those are really good things to look for if you're looking for that kind of classroom structure. A lot of these schools also offer in-person workshops or clinics, so you can show up for 3 days. I know the Florence Academy of Art, they have like week-long workshops that you can go through. Those are really helpful. And then the last one, a mentor can be both in person and they are aware that they are fulfilling a mentorship role with you, or it can be a little more abstract where, you know, there's someone that just puts out really good content that can teach you and kind of give you mentorship that way. I'll start off by listing, I think, some of my favorite mentors out there. That one can kind of give you a little extra spice. That would be Jess Karp. She has a Patreon as well and a YouTube channel. It's phenomenal. She's phenomenal. Andrew Tischler also has a YouTube channel and a Patreon where he teaches. Carla Grace is another phenomenal teacher. I haven't done her tutorials, but I imagine that they're wonderful. She's so capable and seems like she can explain it very well. Stephen Bauman, he is an artist that is incredible. He has taught at art schools. He has taught a lot of people and people that have gone on to be actually quite successful and incredibly capable. So Stephen Bauman and his courses are very valuable. If you're on the beginner side or just looking to branch out in a wide variety of things to learn about, Proco is very good. I haven't really done any of their lessons of recent, but I do know that they have a bunch of different art teachers that teach kind of their specialty. So you're learning each aspect from a master. So again, these are kind of the like metaphorical mentors where they don't know they're directly mentoring you, but they have materials out there that you can purchase from them and kind of learn directly from them and their style. The next one is going to be an in-person mentorship. The one that comes to mind actually is Chelsea Lang, who's on YouTube. And I know she has a mentorship program that's very similar to kind of an atelier, but she also helps you on the business aspect. And that's someone that you'd be communicating with on a set schedule, and they would kind of be overlooking your work, helping you basically as in person as they can. There's a few like that. I know, let's see, the Realist Academy of Boston, which is also an atelier. I think it's the Realist Academy, or it's like the Atelier Academy of Boston. They offer online classes that are over Zoom, so you do have a teacher that's like critiquing you in person. There's avenues out there. I would look at YouTube and find people that are offering those sort of things, as well as universities that have specific classes that offer that sort of kind of mentorship critique. Or if you're scrolling through Instagram, which is how I found Stephen Bauman, for example, I don't know if he offers in-person mentorship, but if he does, he's phenomenal as well. He's very, very, very knowledgeable. Ken Goshen, he might offer some in-person, but either way, you're just looking for these people that are very skilled and willing to share their knowledge. I know another artist, Brooke Cormier, she had a mentor that helped her kind of get into the art realm. I personally did not have any experience like that. The closest I ever came was the fact that my grandpa was a famous artist, my great-grandpa was a famous artist, my grandma was an artist. I was around a lot of artsy people. And I did see to some extent what they were doing and how they did it. I wish I was able to talk to them more and kind of utilize them as a mentor, because my great grandpa and grandfather, they're both in museums, and that's pretty cool. I would like that. So I wish I talked to them more, but that was not what happened. Yeah, so I personally don't have any experience when it comes to having like that person that's in the art world that like is willing to be your mentor. But across the board, whether it's someone that you find online, you pay them, you know, for kind of one-on-one coaching, or it's in person, I think the most important thing is just to vet these people extensively. Like, make sure it is the right fit for you. Make sure they are creating the artwork that you want to create. And if they're not creating exactly the same, they're at least able to critique in a way that you feel like is beneficial, or like you see other students of them improving in a way that resonates with you. So even if they are not the same exact style, if they're able to still create students that you kind of identify with their progress and growth, do that. Check with other people that have worked through them. Make sure that they are a good, honest person by checking reviews, talking to previous students, asking for references from them, that sort of thing. Do any of the 7-day free trials if it's an online situation. But yeah, just do your due diligence and make sure that not only is it a person that you get along with enough that you can learn something from them, it's someone that is very knowledgeable in what you want to learn and very capable of helping you through that. I know I just threw a lot of information at you and a lot of names. If you're interested in any of the resources that I specifically, like people that I have paid money in order to learn from, Andrew Tischler is 100% up there. I have spent so much money on all of his DVDs because he's phenomenal. Jess Karp, I've also done her Patreon. The New York Academy of Art was phenomenal. Watts Atelier, just the ones that I've paid for. Andrew Tischler, Jess Karp, Stephen Bauman, New York Academy, Watts Atelier. I follow Carla Grace on YouTube. I follow Ken Goshen. That's kind of it. Those are kind of the ones that I've really invested the majority of my money in. And I'm really happy I did. I learned a lot from each one of those artists and avenues. So anyways, this video got a little wordy. I hope everything makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them later as well. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I 100% will answer you. As always, thank you so much for joining, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. If you're interested in watching any more videos from me, there's going to be one popping up on your screen right here, and then you can just spend the rest of the day with me. So I hope to see you there.